You know, I've said all year about Brock Purdy. We have to contextualize it. It's a great place to land as a quarterback. Kyle Shanahan, the best left tackle in forever, the best running back in football, the second best tight end, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk. It's a great place to land. You could land in Carolina, or you could land with a terrible coach. Brock Purdy landed in the perfect spot. But it should be noted, so did Trey Lance, and he couldn't get it done. So Brock Purdy deserves credit. There's two things that jumped out to me. First of all, that first half looked like the game was over. San Francisco never panicked down 24-10. They just kept feeding Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle. They never lost their identity, Baltimore. They had a really flat first half. Not going to be able to do that against Kansas City, but they overcame it. And number two is, Kyle Shanahan's always wanted his quarterback to move a little. It's why they drafted Trey Lance. It's why he got frustrated with Jimmy Garoppolo. And then they found Brock Purdy, who could move and was accurate. And that mobility, that movement, plus Shanahan's schemes, once it gets rolling downhill, is tough to stop. Brock Purdy lacks a power arm. He's not real big. God, we saw drizzly weather give him fits a week ago. But that mobility was a factor. Shanahan's schemes, always a factor. Those weapons, insane, all-time good. And Brock Purdy's ability to come from behind is no small feat. Now, 5 of his 8 playoff quarters, be honest, he's been outplayed by Goff and Jordan Love badly. But he has shown an ability to shake off a bad half or a bad pass or a bad drive. He doesn't sulk and he doesn't melt. And that's a real thing. Now, will the Super Bowl end up looking like the last San Francisco-Kansas City Super Bowl, where the great talent of San Francisco, a quarterback that's not elite, they lead, they control it, and then Mahomes makes it all pretty damn irrelevant and takes over the fourth quarter? I don't know. But make no mistake, the Niners earned this, and Brock Purdy was a huge part of it. That last San Francisco team was not as good as this Niner team offensively. That Niner team didn't have Christian McCaffrey or Trent Williams or Brandon Ayuk. And yes, I'll say it, they didn't have Brock Purdy. His mobility, his ability to shake off bad halves, he never melted, he never panicked. I watched the Lions panic. I watched Lamar Jackson panic. I watched Baltimore panic. Brock Purdy never did. Not once. Had a bad throw, never rattled, never played frenetic football. It's not just arm. It's not just strength. It's not being the fastest or the most anything. So much of this position is the ability to forget the last series. Don't melt. Don't get down on yourself. Play to your strengths. And make no mistake, not only did San Francisco outplay the Lions, who melted, Brock Purdy was a huge part of this win. To make the NFL and make a Super Bowl as the final guy drafted is a grind. You walk into camp, you're kind of a running joke, right? They have like an award, a name, a term for the last guy drafted. And reportedly, it just didn't take that long to see he was a grown-up, he was a grinder, he gained his teammates' respect. There's a lot of things he's not. But something that he is a gamer. And that in this system, this gritty team, this physical club full of smart, savvy, tough veterans is a real thing. And I'm happy for him. You know I love Lamar, but I can also acknowledge that was not good. But I do feel, I think we have to be fair here. That felt like coaching malpractice. They completely abandoned their total identity. They run, they pound, they grind. This is what they do. Number 1 rushing team in the league by far. Until yesterday. Their running backs in Baltimore, I'm not making this up, had 6 total carries. They were never getting blown out. They didn't have to abandon it. The most they trailed by was 10. I mean, San Francisco was still giving the ball to McCaffrey, and they were at one point down 24-10. Should have been 27-10, but 24-10. Until about 7 minutes left. It never felt like they had to throw. And here's the funny thing. The Ravens went 0-4 with 25 or fewer rush attempts this year. 14-1 when they ran the ball a lot. Apparently there was a power outage or something, or the fax machines don't work. That data was not available in Baltimore. Instead, you know what they became? They became the Buffalo Bills with Josh Allen. Defensive coach, Harbaugh's defensive leaning. Hey, here's a cape. Lead us. That's what they've been doing with Josh Allen. And finally this year with Josh Allen, they gave him help. And then against Kansas City, it was all on Josh Allen. And that's what it felt like yesterday. What about the tight end you liked? What about Gus Edwards? He'd been terrific. Instead, they asked Lamar to drop back 46 times. That's not Lamar at his best. It's closer to 26, 27. Even with quarterbacks we like, Dak Prescott, there's a line. Passes more than 35 times, you're not going to win games. And that's what's funny is they were never out of this game. This wasn't like San Francisco falling into a hole. And you're thinking, is this over? This never felt like it was over. You were just waiting for the Ravens to get on track and go back to being what they were. And they completely abandoned. Like, it's one thing to beat Dan Campbell. You have sort of a vibe and a culture. This is how we play. But you do understand mostly that in the playoffs, it got tightened up a little bit, a little less emotional. But I can still defend Dan Campbell because the Lions play with a chip, and I love the chip. I didn't even recognize Baltimore yesterday. This is a run team, number one in the league. It's one of the strangest 3.5 hours of playoff football I have ever seen. I mean, it would be like San Francisco going into a game. Forget the second half. It'd be like the Niners saying, hey, listen, I know it's a big game and all, but let's switch it up and not pound the ball with McCaffrey and Debo and become a finesse offense. Again, it's not like they bailed on the run game in the second half late. They never ran the ball the whole game. Yes, Lamar Jackson melted down. Absolutely, no question. But you know what? Josh Allen can melt down and make mistakes when you ask him to singularly lead the team. And I do think it is, as J-Mac mentioned earlier, the James Harden thing, I think it is fair, as much as it pains me to say it, it is fair to come to a reasonable conclusion. Now, it can change. Peyton Manning wasn't great in the playoffs early in his career, but it can change. But it's fair now to say, is Lamar built for elite defensive coordinators and pass rushes in January? I'm asking the same thing, and it pains me to say it. But from coaching to second-half mistakes, is it possible? Like Buffalo, Baltimore's just not built for this. They're not built to beat the coaching and the quarterbacking and the institutional knowledge of the Chiefs. We've all kind of felt like that with Buffalo, and then we watched it again with Buffalo this year, and we're all like absolutely sure of it now. Buffalo's not going to beat this Kansas City group. This was the year. They're not going to. They can beat everybody else. They're not going to beat these guys in a big game. And I didn't feel that with Baltimore. I felt like, okay, this is in Baltimore, better defense, better special teams. This team's different. And then they weren't. And I think it's a reasonable opinion to have this morning, is they may be stylistically coaching. They're not built to beat Andy Reid and Mahomes in January. Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.